Imagine for a second a single sheet of paper, just one document, sitting quietly on a desk in a sterile office. No fanfare, no fireworks, no Hollywood cameras rolling. Just a signature, a date, and a number. But this isn't just any number. It is a figure so precise and yet so staggering that it defies the logic of the championship. £47.8 million. Something very strange and frankly absolutely massive is happening behind the scenes at the Racecourse. We aren't talking about ticket sales or merchandise. We are talking about a financial manoeuvre that has left experts scratching their heads and rivals looking over their shoulders with genuine concern. One share, 48 million. Why now? Why with just a week left in the window? The timing is impeccable, almost suspicious in its perfection. Is this a war chest? Is this the key to that £19 million striker rumour? Or is it something even bigger? Today we are going to dissect the anatomy of a miracle on the pitch and the absolute juggernaut building off it. Stay with me, because what I'm about to tell you changes everything for the Red Dragons.
Hello everyone and welcome back. I'm Rodrigo, and if your heart rate has returned to normal after this weekend, you clearly weren't watching the same match I was. We're here to talk about resilience, about the DNA of a club that simply refuses to die, and about the sheer, unadulterated ambition of our Hollywood owners. We have a lot to get through. We need to talk about a comeback that will be sung about in the pubs of North Wales for decades. We need to talk about an unlikely hero who is statistically embarrassing the league's best strikers. But most importantly, we need to get to the bottom of this financial mystery that dropped late yesterday. It is the kind of news that separates the dreamers from the giants. So, grab a drink, settle in, and let's get visceral. This is the reality of Wrexham.
Close your eyes for a second and just breathe in that London air. Loftus Road under the floodlights. It's heavy, isn't it? There's a particular kind of tension that hangs over a stadium when the clock moves into the red. A thick, suffocating atmosphere where every heartbeat feels like a drum. What we witnessed wasn't just a game of football. It was a psychological puzzle, a masterclass in the unexpected.
Picture the scene as the shadows lengthen. We are 90 minutes deep. The scoreboard is a taunt. 2-1 to a QPR side that has spent the last half hour clinging on with 10 men. You look at the away end, thousands of North Walians who made the journey, and you see that familiar, aching expression. It's that knot in the pit of the stomach, the quiet whisper in the back of your mind saying, "Not today." The efficiency of the championship has finally caught us out. We had the lion's share of possession, we carved out the openings, but the ball simply wouldn't obey. It felt like a harsh lesson in the cold reality of the second tier. But there's a mystery to this Wrexham side, something woven into the turf by the Gaffer, Phil Parkinson. It's a trait that defies logic. It's the refusal to accept the script as it's written. Minute 93. A corner swung in, a frantic punch from the keeper, and the ball spills out to the edge of the area. It finds Josh Windass. Now, in a moment like that, the stadium holds its breath. Most players would let the pressure get to them, sending the ball spiralling into the stands. But Windass, he watches it fall with a terrifying composure. The technique is effortless, a low rifled strike that threads the needle through a forest of desperate legs. 2-2. The away end doesn't just celebrate, it erupts in a release of pure, unadulterated soul. A point snatched from the jaws of defeat. Most teams would take that, wouldn't they? They'd retreat, pack the midfield, and thank their lucky stars. But this isn't most teams, this is a group possessed by a different kind of curiosity. 60 seconds later, just 60 ticks of the watch, the QPR defenders are still looking at each other, haunted by the equaliser, their tactical discipline evaporated. The ball finds Ollie Rathbone. He's 30 yards out, with space opening up like a beckoning path. He doesn't hesitate. He unleashes a thunderbolt, a strike so pure it felt like destiny itself was behind the laces. When it hit the back of the net, it wasn't just a goal, it was absolute bedlam. 3-2. Doesn't it make the hairs on your arms stand up? It carries the haunting scent of that National League title charge, that same never say die enigma. Parkinson has cultivated a dressing room where the match isn't over until the referee's back in the changing rooms. We've climbed to 6th. Let that settle in your mind for a moment. In our first season back at this level in 43 years, we aren't just surviving the climb, we are hunting at the summit. We are the Championship's greatest curiosity. But you want to know what makes this particular victory even more poetic? It's the identity of the man who struck that final blow.
Picture this: the cold, damp sidelines of a training ground in August. A player watching from the shadows while the world moves on without him. That was Ollie Rathbone. A nasty ankle snap, 3 months of silence, and a narrative that threatened to write him off before he'd even truly started. In this game, if you aren't on the grass, you're a ghost. You're yesterday's news.
But there's a whisper going around the stands lately, a statistical anomaly that frankly shouldn't exist. Look closer at the numbers, not just a glance but a proper deep dive. Rathbone has clocked a mere 266 minutes of Championship football, 2 starts, an handful of cameos off the bench, and yet he's found the net 4 times. Do the maths with me, let it really sink in. That is a goal every 67 minutes. That isn't just decent for a midfielder, it's surgical. It's the kind of ratio you'd expect from an elite world-class striker in the form of his life. He is quietly outperforming the most feared scorers in the division in terms of pure, cold efficiency. It makes you wonder what else he's capable of if given the full 90, doesn't it? I caught what he said after the whistle blew recently, and it lingered. He spoke about that kick in the teeth against Leicester and Norwich. You remember that feeling, don't you? That hollow ache in your chest when the points slip through your fingers in the dying seconds. Rathbone didn't just see it, he felt it. He said the lads were kicking themselves. But here's the thing about pain. In the right hands, it's the most potent fuel in sport. You saw it at Loftus Road. When we were 2-1 down, the old ghosts could have returned. But this group didn't crumble. They remembered the Leicester sting, they remembered the frustration, and they refused to let history repeat itself. This is the hidden depth we're finally starting to see. The Gaffer isn't just picking a team, he's deploying weapons. To have a player like Rathbone, hungry, clinical, and perhaps a bit overlooked, coming off the bench to alter the destiny of a season in a matter of seconds, that's how you build a squad that's mentally bulletproof. However, let's be real for a second. To sustain this march toward the Premier League, to keep this impossible fairy tale from reaching an abrupt end, heart and grit only get you so far. You need the engine room to be backed by something much more substantial. You need raw power. You need capital. And that leads us directly into the one story that has every fan in the city leaning in a little closer today.
This is the big one. This is the news that changes the landscape of the January transfer window. Yesterday, filings at Companies House revealed that Wrexham issued a single share, just one, priced at £47.8 million. Now, I need you to understand the gravity of this. Usually, when clubs issue shares, it's a desperate scattergun approach to raise cash from multiple sources. This is surgical. This is a massive injection of equity, likely from the current ownership group or the new partners at Apollo Sports Capital, ASC.
Kieran Maguire, the football finance expert, weighed in on this, and his analysis is crucial. He noted that the US holding company already owns millions of shares. This specific issuance, timed right now, suggests one thing: working capital. What is working capital in football terms? It's ammunition.
We know the club is undertaking massive infrastructure projects. The new Cop stand is scheduled for 2027. That costs money, serious money. But here is the intrigue. The transfer window closes in a week. We have been linked with Siddiqui Sharif, the 19-year-old Angers striker. The rumours suggested a £19 million bid. When that number first leaked, people laughed. They said, Wrexham? 19 million? Impossible. FFP won't allow it. They don't have the cash. Well, look at the bank account now. This £47.8 million boost silences the doubters. It explains how such a deal could be funded. It shows that Ryan Reynolds, Rob McElhenney and the Allen family are not just here to make a documentary. They are here to bulldoze their way to the Premier League. This cash injection ensures sustainability while allowing for aggressive growth. It covers the stadium costs, yes, but it also frees up the budget for recruitment right now. Phil Parkinson said it himself. It's about putting those building blocks in place for the short and long term. This is the truth behind the money. It's not just a number on a spreadsheet, it is a declaration of war on the rest of the championship. We are building a fortress at the Racecourse, we are buying talent that belongs in the top flight, and we are doing it debt-free through equity. From a 94th minute winner at QPR to a £48 million power move in the boardroom. This is the golden era of Wrexham, and the scary part for the rest of the league, we are just getting started.